Julie, have we got the nod? Everybody, Petch, are you recording? This is all going to be recorded, guys. I do a vlog, and Petch, you might, if anyone's watched it, you might have seen him. He's going to record this. If you like, go and watch anything again that we talk about, just go to youtube.com/watchross. I'm not promoting stuff already, but you can go and check it out if you want to watch it again. I want to say, first of all, like, just ridiculously humbled that people have bothered to actually like be here and pay to come and see me speak, which just blows my mind. I started out, I launched a website that I run, Attentionseeking, here 9 years ago. Petch was with us, Eric at the back was with us. We were literally like begging people to come over and speak to us. You know, you've probably been accosted by people like out in the main hall, dragging people over, come and speak to us. That was us. So to come here like 9 years later and not have to do that is amazing. Just to be totally honest, who's never clapped eyes on me before at all, knows nothing about what I do, has never seen any of my stuff, put your hands right up so I can see them. Shit, that hurts. I'm joking. It's fun. No, this is great. This is great. I massively appreciate you being here as well. There's some really familiar faces as well that I see, which is great. I know we've not got much time, but super quickly, just for those who don't know, I'm an actor, I'm a voiceover artist. Like I say, 9 years ago, I set up a website called ActsOnThis.tv. I interview like casting directors, famous actors, producers, writers. I left drama school in 2005, really going, I'm an actor, but I know nothing about the business, as a lot of people do. So I'll go straight to the horse's mouths, like get all the casting directors on and basically sit them down for interview, ask them how, you know, you can have success in this industry. So by all means, if you're like, you need business info, go check that site out as well. And then around about that time when I was launching that site, I had a few things happen to me in my life that hit me pretty hard. My dad died like overnight, instantly, bang, had a heart attack. And I found out I've got this eye condition called retinitis pigmentosa, which, so Sharon, come in. It sounds dramatic, this, but it effectively robs you of your vision. So my mum's completely blind with it. I've got about, I don't want to put a time limit on it, but maybe like 10, 15 years left of vision. So that gave me like a massive, effectively like a punch in the face, but like a real dose of self-awareness to go, Ross, you've graduated from drama school, you want to be an actor, you're working in a flipping shop in the Trafford Centre, you're telling yourself, you know, you can't have success for this reason, that reason, you know, the industry's hard, all these bullshit excuses that I was using. And it took something massive in my life, 2 hits, like bang, bang, to kind of wake me up from that and actually go, well, you know what, like, you need to start taking action to get what you want because you're doing a lot of this, but you're not taking any action on it, you know. So I got heavily into positive psychology. A friend of mine was doing a master's degree in LA at Claremont University. I had a chance meeting with him when he was over in the UK, and he basically just had a little chat to me about what I was doing in my life and where I was going wrong, and it absolutely transformed my life, my success. Within 12 months, I'd left that shop. I'd landed a really decent agent. I had my first 2 roles on TV. One was like 6 lines in Emmerdale. But the day after that, I filmed a drama with Peter Capaldi and Juliet Stevenson called Accused, which was amazing. I'd gone from like in the shop doing nothing to working with 2 legends. And I was like, this stuff just works. It just flat out works. So I started coaching actors on it. It's a massive part of my life today. I'd run a program called BULLETPROOF Actor that comes out once a year. And I do 2 completely free live broadcasts a week, coaching people on the science of success, positive psychology. I'm obsessed with it. So that's my background. You've all got a sheet here. I'll basically today, the goal of this session is, I know it's so quick, is to just give you some of the basic principles that transformed my life. And there's something particularly that we look at the end here that I promise you, I just swear to God, is so legit. If you can implement this formula into your life, because it is a formula, it's almost binary. If you do it, you will start having more success than you've ever had before. It's seriously, it sounds kind of like I'm just pushing it, but it's absolutely transformational, legit, and it will work for you if you commit to it every day. We're going to do a little intro with the 2 circles that you see on the top of your sheet there. Have a look at them for me. You'll see 2 circles, a blue one and a red one. I just want you to stare at them, and who's brave enough to just put their hand up and just describe what you see to me? Anybody? Eyes. Someone said eyes? Interesting, Sharon. Gentleman at the back. Describe them, exactly what it is. A bit like catchphrase. Say what you see.
2 circles, one's blue, one's red. It's got a black outline.
Yeah, and anything about the sizes of these circles? Same size? So put your hand up if you think they're the same size. Put your hand right up so I can see you. Right high. Okay, so there's a lot of the room think they're the same size. I'm going to tell you that they're not the same size, right? Look at them again, but really carefully. I'll give you 10 seconds. If you think the blue one's bigger, put your hand up now. So a few people. So if you think the red one's bigger, there's going to be more hands, I guess. Put your hand up now. Put it right up. People are changing their mind. Right, it's all bullshit. They are exactly the same size. What I did there to illustrate is effectively you all had a belief, right? In your head, a gut instinct straight away. These are two circles, they're the same size. All I did, a guy who most of you have said you've never met before or seen, you've met me, what, 30 seconds? I questioned your belief about this thing and you changed your mind, right? And that's just a powerful illustration because so many actors go into an industry with a belief, going, you know what, I deserve to have success. I'm going to do this thing. And then somebody who's probably been burnt by something in the past or they're bitter and jaded questions it and goes, are you sure you want to write that play? Are you sure you want to film that film? Oh, a friend of mine did that and it didn't work. Are you sure you want to crowdfund that thing that you're doing? And they question themselves and they have thoughts about what their initial belief was. And they have thoughts on those thoughts on the thoughts of the thoughts. And before they know it, they've changed their mind. So it's just an illustration I want you to think about whilst we go through the rest of this. So that effectively is me changing your belief so easily. No one really stood up and went, no, they are the same size. You know, you all allowed me, more or less, I think, to change what you initially thought. So what is a belief? It's a word we hear about all the time. Anyone want to give me an idea of what they think a belief actually is? And then I'm going to give you the actual definition of it and then two types of beliefs that we have that create our belief system. Just shout it out. What's a belief? Anyone?
Personal truth.
Personal truth? Anyone else?
Basis of how we think and live.
Yeah? Yeah?
Something based on experience.
Absolutely. 100%.
Repetitive thought pattern.
Can be. Yeah, absolutely. It's basically, how I describe it is it's a feeling of certainty that you have about something. So there's a little thing I want you to fill in there. It says, it's point number 3, it says, when I say I believe, because I don't think a lot of people really get this, what you're actually saying is, I am certain that X is true. So if you say, you know, I believe I'll only ever be a background artist, what you're kind of saying to yourself there is, I am certain I will only ever be a background artist. And trust me, you will never outperform, you will never outachieve, you will never out-earn your belief system. So if your belief system is created with these beliefs that say, I will only be this, guess what? You're only ever going to be that. Now, there are two types of beliefs in your belief system. One works massively in your favor, one works completely against you. And you'll see point number 2 there. You can write these down. There are empowering beliefs. And what do? Empower you. Exactly. These are the beliefs that kind of keep you up late at night. They're the beliefs that get you up early in the morning. They're the beliefs that excite you. You know what? I'm going to write this film. A friend of mine, I'll tell you about in a minute, wrote a film last year. She filmed it, had a huge amount of limiting beliefs around why she couldn't do that. We pushed her through that. She just flew out today to go to the 90th Oscars luncheon because she's nominated for an Oscar for this film that she wrote for the first time last year. Never written anything before. A proper Oscar nomination, like literally will be there with the A-listers. She'd never done that before. But, you know, had she listened to all the beliefs, you know, in her head that are like, you know, I can't do this thing, which is the other type of belief, limiting beliefs. So we've got empowering beliefs, the exciting ones that go, yes, I can do this. And limiting beliefs, that are the ones that say, I can't do this, I'm not qualified, I'm not good enough for this, I'm not good looking enough for this, I'm not from the right family. Whatever that is for you, they're the things that can absolutely sabotage you. So empowering beliefs and limiting beliefs. So write those down. And then, yeah, the definition of that belief is that you believe, you know, if you're saying I believe, you're actually saying that I am certain that that is the way that it is, effectively. There's a really interesting story around limiting beliefs and how they are formed. They're generally formed from past experiences. They really are, like, you know, it's cliched, but what happened to you as a kid and in earlier life can massively affect your belief system and the amount of limiting beliefs you carry through your life. Was anyone told anything at school that they feel like right now is still limiting? If you're prepared to just be honest with me and like be a bit vulnerable for a second. Yeah? Who was saying yeah? Yeah? What? Yeah? What?
You're too small to be an actress.
Wow, okay. And you still honour that today?
Sorry?
You still honour that belief today?
No.
No?
And I didn't afterwards, but...
By the time?
Yeah, it was...
Well, that's amazing that you've got over that. What normally happens is, so there's a example I use of where people train elephants, and when you get an elephant trainer training a baby elephant, this is kind of how it works. What they do, elephant's born like, I don't know, 3 feet high or something like that, and they try to discipline it. They tie a little rope around its front foot, and they whack it on a pole, and then for about an hour or so, this elephant is pulling and pulling and pulling against this pole. It's like, I want to escape from this thing. And then eventually it's like, wow, I just can't do it. I'm not strong enough. And then that might take an hour, 2 hours or something like that, and it just gives up, okay? The crazy thing, and you can see this on YouTube, it's literally insane. An elephant, African elephant, Indian elephant, can grow as tall as this room, live for decades. And what will happen is when the trainer puts that elephant, when it's massive, on that same pole that it had been on 30 years ago, it doesn't even try and escape, because it's created this limiting belief in its head to go, oh, wait a minute, I see that. When I'm on that pole, I cannot escape. Which is mental, because it could tear it out the ground, it could trample its trainer. It's so powerful, it's grown so strong over that period, and yet in its head it still can't escape. And as human beings do this, we're told stuff at school that, or at drama school, or in an audition, or from someone who you think is an authority in this industry, a casting director potentially, anything like that. And you say, oh, you're not this, you're not that, you're this type, you're big boned, you're not clever enough. A friend of mine was told that his reading age when he was 11 was of a 9-year-old. He's 35 now. Nothing wrong with his reading age, right? Come on, guys. But if you ask him to read at a christening or a wedding or anything like that, oh, it's impossible. Bang, straight back there to where he was 11 years old, thinking he's behind in his reading. It's limited him his entire life. And this is just what happens to people. When you honour, generally, like other people's beliefs from bad experiences that you've had in your life. So it's, again, just something to think about. Now, there's 4 areas that create. Is everyone with us so far? I know I'm kind of like zipping through this.
Elephants, yeah.
I just want to get it in. Elephants. So ultimately, so far, recap. Your belief system is created from limiting beliefs and empowering beliefs, okay? The limiting beliefs are the ones that are holding you back, the voices in your head that are telling you whether you can and can't do things. Empowering beliefs are the beliefs that excite you. They're the ones that are like, of course you can do this. You can go in this audition, you can own it. Most people, unfortunately, their psyche is created more from the limiting beliefs than they are the empowering beliefs. There are 4 external factors in your life that will screw your belief system up and fuel these things with limiting beliefs about yourself. So we can write this down. The first one that I just want to go over is doing what everyone else does. Okay, and this was me. God, this was me back in that shop. So I worked in the Trafford Centre like over a decade ago now, and I'd left drama school, graduated from Manchester Met, the School of Theatre there. One of the top drama schools in the country. I was like, it's going to be easy. I'm going to walk out, bang, I'm just going to get a job, aren't I? It's not like that at all. Anyone here like just graduated and finding that themselves? Like it's actually, the business is maybe harder. Hey? What's that?
I just said we're all jaded.
All jaded. Oh, okay, so there's no fresh people. You're all a bit bitter so far. But no, we can sort that out though. We can turn that around. I when I graduated was like, wow, okay, this is going to be, absolutely fine. It's going to be dead easy. All my friends, we were all doing the same stuff, and you're going to have heard a lot of things at talks today, like, right, you've got to have your spotlight, you've got to have your headshot right, you've got to have your show reel right, and you've got to have an agent. And it's like people want to collect the set of 4 things, and they just expect this thing to happen. I've got everything now. I can just sit back, the phone will ring, I don't know, Victor Jenkins will call us in, I'll get a part on Broadchurch, happy days, It just isn't like that. The talent that's out there is literally limitless. It's endless. There's so many of us wanting to do this. And if you are doing what everybody else is doing, I swear to God, you will only ever have what everyone else is having. And so many people, when I left drama school, we were all telling each other things like, it's quiet, innit? Who's ever heard that? Oh, I rang my agent and she said, yeah, it's quiet time of year, innit? It's never quiet. It's never quiet. I write about commissions on Acts on This I don't, lead us. Every single day from ITV, from BBC, people are out there like working every single day. And yet, if you're doing just what everybody else is doing, which is generally having a coffee with your mates going, oh, it's quiet, then you ain't going to be getting any of that work. You've got to stop doing what everybody else is doing and just start looking at some of the things that make you unique. And I know this is massively cliched, but this blows my mind when I think about this. If you think about your DNA right now, right, get a bit scientific, it's literally never, ever, ever existed on this planet before, which is mental. And when you die, it will never, ever, ever exist on this planet again, which is like, just mental. And it's like, what are you going to actually do with it whilst you are here. And I promise you, this industry will pay any price you ask of it, but hardly anybody asks for really what they want, or or what they think they deserve, because for some reason they don't think they deserve it. And to be, to use that kind of uniqueness, you've got to look at what you have that nobody else has. So for me, I was massively limited with this eye condition. I thought, shit, I'm losing my eyesight. I'm going to go blind. I mean, it affects my peripheral vision right now. So if I'm like this, I can't see any of this side of the room. I can't drive. I struggle at night time, that kind of stuff. But I was like, well, I'm going to use this. Stop doing what everyone else does and like hide their flaws. I'm going to use this to my advantage, and I'm going to get in touch with every casting director I can and go, listen, I'm a partially sighted actor. I've got 15 years of sight left. What are we going to do about this? Is there I just need some help. Can you bring us in for stuff? Because I really want to do this while I can. And a guy called Jack Thorne, who's a BAFTA-winning writer, an incredible guy, decided he was going to write a drama based on this eye condition. And I got a really decent part. He wrote me in specifically because of this in a drama that went on to win the BAFTA for Best Single Drama. And that was a massive shift in my psychology again, going, I'm going to start talking about this more. There's people in here with, physical disabilities, all kinds of stuff that we won't even be able to see from the outside. There might be people here from hearing disabilities, sight disabilities, people with all kinds of stuff they're trying to hide and just do what everyone else does by collecting their set of 4 things: spotlight, an agent, a headshot and a show reel. And they're not embracing the thing that makes them themselves. So stop doing ultimately what you see everybody else doing, and just start thinking a little bit about yourself and what makes you unique and what you can put in an email. I sent an email to an agent the other day going, listen, this is my situation again. I've got 10 or 15 years to do this. Here's the things that I've done. I wanted to get in touch with the BBC to actually talk about this. And to cut a long story short, over the last few months, if you've been watching my vlog, I've now got them to agree to do an episode of Horizon with me, a documentary, their flagship science documentary. I would never have thought, back when I was working in that shop doing what everyone else is doing, that would be possible. I'm going to be presenting a flagship documentary for the BBC based on a massive flaw, or what I labelled as a flaw, in my life. So if you've got anything that makes you a little bit unique, stop hiding it and just start actually thinking, how can I use this to empower me, create empowering beliefs, not limiting beliefs? Because it is something that you can sell. Literally, you can go, this is something that is valuable to someone because it's interesting. Drama school, I hid this, didn't tell anybody about it at all until one rehearsal. Who had to play at drama school, or if you've done drama classes where you walk into the space? Oh, it's bullshit, innit? Just literally, right, walk to space. Walk to the space. Oh, I hated it. And obviously no peripheral vision. I headbutted this girl so hard, I nearly knocked her out. The director went absolutely mental at me, absolutely mental. And that was at that point, I need to have a word with you outside. This was in my 3rd year. I got away with it for 2.5 years because I was so embarrassed by it. I was like, I don't want to be classed as disabled or have this label, or I don't want them not to give me a part because I can't see. Blackouts were such a nightmare. I can't see in the dark. Everyone else is walking around with furniture, doing a little scene change. I'm just shitting myself going, I've just got to get off stage. How do I get off this? I fell off a thrust once, the front of a stage. It was only about 4 feet, but boy, you heard it. Bang, and then you kind of crawl off, do that thing, I'm fine, I'm all right. Because I was hiding it. It's don't stop hiding it. So that's number 1, okay, doing what everyone else does. That's the first thing I want everyone here to stop doing, because you'll only ever have what everyone else has if you do that. Number 2 is taking bad advice. I'll give you an example of this, right? I went through a pretty rocky patch in a relationship that I no longer have 4 years ago, right? It was proper traumatic. It really, really tore me up. Who was the guy I was going to ask for advice about this? My flipping brother, who was going through a divorce. I mean, he's a guy who only knows how to do relationships wrong. And yet I was like, I need your advice on this, mate. What should I do about this girl? What's going on? And a lot of actors end up taking advice from people, and sometimes they're their friends. And it's bad advice. These people are having no more success than them. And they'll go, I'm thinking of doing this short film. What do you think? And they'll go, oh, I wrote a short film and I tried to fund it on Indiegogo and I raised 200 quid and it was a total disaster. And they go, I won't do that then. My friend, this girl who's just gone to America today to the Oscars lunch, she was told not to fundraise through Indiegogo. It's really, really hard. It's going to fall flat on its face. She wanted to raise £10,000. Luckily, I was like, you can't listen to that bullshit. You've got to just do it and find out whether it works for you. Cut a long story short, she raised 13.5 grand. So if she'd have honoured that limiting belief that could have been thrust into her belief system by someone who had failed, she wouldn't have done that. She wouldn't have taken the action she needed to ultimately, she could win a freaking Oscar. I mean, that's just so, it's life-changing as it is to get nominated. To win, I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's the dream for everybody. It's that thing we all talk about. Oh yeah, when I get my Oscar, I'll mention in my speech. It's literally reality for this girl, which is crazy. So taking bad advice is a problem, and something that I have a little bit of a hang-up with. in this industry is I see quite a lot of people who maybe not succeed in their own careers, setting up stuff to give other people advice, and they're promising them, oh, come to my acting class, and I'll teach you how to do this, I'll teach you how to do that. And you look at their IMDb and you're like, mate, you've done nothing. Like, you try to promise people success that you haven't had yourself. I'm not claiming that I've had loads and loads of success, but I'm working regularly. I've done a BBC drama that comes out in April called Age Before Beauty. You should definitely all watch. I do a lot of voiceover. If you watch the vlog, you just see me implementing the stuff I'm talking about in my life, and it works. So be careful of who you take advice from. Everyone should be out to get mentors. I think that's a massive, massive thing. But look for people who are like 5 to 25 years ahead of you and ask them for advice. It's so valuable. They've done the thing that you want to do. Just ask them how they did it and reach out to them. Social media is such a gift. The conversations I've had with people who I never thought I could get hold of in my life on direct message on social media has been crazy. Lee at the back, Petch was talking to Russell T Davies on Instagram the other day. I was talking to Hugh Bonneville on Twitter, trying to get him on an Act on This interview. People love people asking for their advice because it's almost validation to go, you're worthy, I value you, can you help me? It's flattering. So be careful who you take advice from. It can absolutely create those limiting beliefs in your belief system. Point number 3, so important, is the people you surround yourself with. The people you surround yourself with. It's a very, very famous thought leader who's not with us anymore, bless him, a guy called Jim Rohn, incredible writer, American thought leader, who said something very, very famous. You can write this down as well. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. When I was in that shop, oh God, the 5 people I spent the most time with were all broke, out of work, whining, bitching actors. I became the 6th. If you hang out with 5 people who are constantly draining your batteries, telling you how hard it is, how you should be bitter about this, that and the other in this industry, you will become the 6th person. Equally, if you surround yourself with inspired people, motivated people, people who are having success, you're seeking out mentors and you're asking how they did it, you will become the 6th. So be very careful. Just have a think now of who your 5 are. And sometimes we can't change necessarily some of those. Some of your family, you might be like, you know what, my mum's a big drain. What am I going to do? Cut her out of my life? You can't do that, okay? And I'm not asking anybody to cut people out of their lives. This is what happens, right? When you raise your standard in your life, in terms of when you wake up one morning, do it now. Just go, you know what, from here on out, I'm going to raise my standards of what I demand from myself and from those around me and from this freaking industry as well, all right? Don't be intimidated by this. You all deserve to get what you want out of it. There's literally unlimited amounts of success out there. If Ruth gets a job or Dawn gets a job, it's not one less job for me. If Gary gets a job, it's not one less job for me. Anyone getting theirs does not stop you from getting yours. But raise your standards. And what will happen is these people who are kind of the battery drainers, one of 2 things will happen actually. They'll either raise theirs with you, which would be lovely, and they'll be like, right, I'm going to come with you, and we're all going to do better together. Or, unfortunately, what happens is they'll eject anyway. They'll be like, being around you, Dawn, makes me feel like a failure because you're taking action on what you want out of your life and you're asking for the industry for stuff and you're getting it. So I'm afraid of all that. I'm just going to kind of like eject myself. You'll never have to cut people out of your life. They'll do it for you. And it's sad, but you deserve to be surrounded by people who make you feel good. Like, too many actors are walking around like they're coming back. It's like, you're not, this is it. Like, you ain't coming back. You've got one shot at this. Literally, I know, I'm so acutely aware, I've got like 15, 20 years potentially to do what I want to do. I'm not coming back, unless science steps in and goes, we'll give you your eyesight back, which would be incredible. But I can't rely on that. Just got to go, look, one chance, and I'm going to do it. And if these people want to eject themselves and not support me, it's totally cool. I'm all right with that, and I wish them nothing but good. So surround yourself. Think of your 5 people, and if you can, kind of seek out more people who inspire you and make you want to up your game and have more success. Because it is super. Being around Rach, the actress who's with this Oscar, and talking to her on the phone and stuff, it's just like rile me up so much to go, I'm going to freaking 10x the amount of action I'm taking, and I think I take a lot of action. But we've always got a next level to go to. The last thing, and this is massive on this list, that can really screw you up and create massive limiting beliefs in your head is overvaluing social media. Who feels like shit when they scroll on Instagram? Anyone? They're like, oh my God, like my life's terrible. All these Photoshop pictures on Instagram of these beautiful people doing this, flying private jets, watches, cars. Everyone seems to be booking a job. Every freaking actor who isn't like working all the time seems to take a picture of a script that's like, working on this. And you go, oh my God, I'm not working on anything. Oh, I'm such a freaking loser. I'm going to go and like do something that's bad for me. I'm going to go and, eat and drink all the wrong stuff and that kind of stuff. And you need to realize every part of your life affects every part of your life, right? So if you allow other people's accomplishments to make you question your own worth, you've lost instantly. I mean, you don't just lose like 3 weeks from now. You lose like on the spot. You know that feeling, don't you? It's like hits you really hard, like in the gut of your stomach. You go, oh my God, this person's had what I want, and I just feel worthless now. You can get to a point where you can use that feeling for good, because that feeling of envy and jealousy, people say jealousy, green-eyed monster, it's a terrible, terrible emotion. It's not at all. It's an absolute barometer. It's like a compass for where you should be in your life. And if you look at someone doing something and feel like shit, you're like, right, I know going for that is what I should be going for, because I wouldn't feel like this otherwise. If I watch Lewis Hamilton win the F1, I don't go, oh, God, I should be an F1 driver. I don't care. So I know I shouldn't be doing that. If I see somebody win a BAFTA or an NCA, I'm like, okay, right, I would love to have that. It's a barometer for where I should be going. So have a look on social media, and there's two things you can either do. I'm not saying you can kind of cull people. You can if you want. If there's people who hates the people who just write, fuck my life on Facebook and and then they don't write anything else? FML. And then you get, oh, I hate it. You get like 20 comments underneath, I'll inbox you, hun. Oh, what's up, babe? All this sort of stuff. It's just attention-seeking bullshit. This is what social media kind of breeds into people. So you can kind of cut or turn notifications off from people like that, so you're not bombarded with that. And again, seek out, like you do in the real world, those 5 you spend the most time with. Seek out like really positive accounts, and people who are gonna give you just some inspiration, you'll follow me in Petch and Eric, I swear. Do follow us though, and if you need anything anytime, reach out to me, I'll help you at Ross A. Grant. Little plug. But yeah, just be careful like who you associate with in the virtual world as well. Social media is such a gift. I use it all the time. It's incredible, but it can completely screw you up and make you feel like shit on a daily basis. And if you're going to your phone first thing upon waking and scrolling through Instagram or Twitter straight away, you're setting yourself up for a bad day potentially. You get yourself to a place where you're all right before you go through your social media. And at least you're not going to be completely crippled from 8 o'clock in the morning whenever you get up. So they're the 4 things. To recap: doing what everyone else does, taking bad advice, the people you surround yourself with, and overvaluing social media. I know I can't go into super depth on these things. I wish I could. But if you come join some of the communities I'm part of, we can talk about this further. This feeds in, how are we doing for time? This feeds into point number 5 that we've got 15 minutes left. On the bottom, this is the thing that will change your life. I swear to God, this is the thing that changed my life. This is what I talked to Mark about, the guy I told you I met. He was doing his positive psychology degree in Claremont at the start of this talk. I swear to God, this is so game-changing. And this effectively, it really is a formula for success. And you can implement this into any part of your life, not just acting industry. You can put it in your physicality, you can put it into your relationships, your health, your emotional mastery. If you're spiritual, you can put it into that. Anything you like. And it all begins in that red box, all right? And I want you to put a P, first of all, in that red box before you write the actual word that I'm going to put in there. What do you think that could stand for? This is where literally, like, your entire hopes, dreams, aspirations, anything begins. P. Give me some ideas.
Positivity.
Close, Ruth.
Power.
Close.
Perception.
Close.
Purpose.
They all begin with P. Good one. No.
Progress.
No.
Perseverance.
No.
Potential.
Yes. Who said that? Potential. Yeah, potential. Okay, so the potential of man has been questioned literally since the beginning of time, all right? For instance, a great story, again, it's pretty cliche, but I'm sure you've heard it before. Roger Bannister, right? He ran a 4-minute mile in 1954. He did it in 3 minutes, 59 seconds, 0.4, so 0.006 of a second, under 4 minutes. Now, before he ran the 4-minute mile, hardly anybody on the planet had ever attempted it because they didn't believe a human being has the potential to run a 4-minute mile, okay? Roger Bannister, he ran that in 1954, and he made effectively what the people thought was impossible, possible. Have a guess how long his record lasted.
2 minutes.
Bit more than 2 minutes. 6 weeks. 6 weeks later, John Landy, an Australian guy, ran it in another 0.004 of a second faster than he did. Since then, since 1954, hundreds of people have done it. They've knocked off a further 17 seconds because people suddenly realised it was the human body had the potential to do it. Before that, hardly anybody had done it. So if you don't believe, I swear to God, that you have the potential to reach whatever you want to reach in this industry, whether that for you, your next level might be your first one line on telly on EastEnders or Corrie or something like that. You might have done that and you're looking for your like guest lead in Casualty, or then you're looking for like, a supporting role in Broadchurch, then you're going up and up and up from there. Everyone's got the next level to go to regardless of how successful you are. But if you don't believe you have the potential to do it, you can't move on to the second box. Well, you do move on to the second box, but you do it very badly. The second box begins with A, the green box. Put an A in it. So have a think, if you believe in your potential, what do you do? Action, exactly. Now, if you don't believe you have the potential, you take very little action. That leads on to the yellow box, which begins with an R. Results, exactly. So you go, I don't think, Rachel could have gone, I don't believe I have the potential to write an Oscar-winning film. And I don't think at the start of it she thought she was going to win an Oscar with it. But she could have said, I don't think I have the potential to write a successful short film. All right, she wouldn't have then took any action. By default, her results would have been dog shit because she'd have not taken any action. She'd about half-assed, like written a script and gone, oh, there you go, can't really bother with that. That would have then fed into the blue box, and that begins with B. Belief, Ruth, yes. So she'd have got terrible results. That feeds back into her belief system, right? And what does it create? It creates limiting beliefs. It goes, see, I told you I wouldn't do it. I told you I couldn't do that. Which then feeds back into her potential. She goes, I don't have the potential to do that. So, her potential decreases. She takes less action. She gets shitter results. She goes, no, I'm even worse. I'm a terrible human being. I'm like, everything's rubbish. I can't do anything. Back to her potential. And this is how, I swear, unsuccessful people just become more and more unsuccessful. And this is how they become so bitter and jaded. And these are the battery drainers in your life. And if you surround yourself by people like this is why you will become like this as well. Equally, the reason the successful become more and more successful, the rich get richer. It always seems like that, doesn't it? You go, God, is so lucky. Just always seem to land on their feet. That guy's got all this money, and yet now look what's happened to him. He's done this. He doesn't need that. He's already got millions and millions. It isn't luck. He might not know he's putting this into action, or she might not know she's putting this into action. But this is called the success cycle. You can write in that box there, if I don't consciously control these things, I cannot fuel my success cycle efficiently. If you believe you've got the potential to do something, then you take massive action. Because you're like, of course I can do it. You get good, if not great results. Rachel was always going to get good results because she took action on the script. She's ended up getting better than great, incredible results. What has that done for her belief system right now? The girl just feels that she's on fire. She's not literally, but she's invincible. She's unstoppable. That feeds back into her potential. She's already thinking of turning the short film into a 3-part drama for BBC or ITV, or doing the feature film of it as well. She will then take massive action based on that belief in her potential. She's going to get great results. That feeds back into her belief system, creates more empowering beliefs, and this is just how people spiral up. And you can genuinely put this into absolutely any area of your life. Like if you're struggling with a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever, you go, you know what? Do I believe I have the potential for an incredible relationship? Yeah. Am I going to take the action required to experience that? I better. And then your results are going to be good, if not great. And then you're going to go, God, you see, so we could get through that. If we can get through that, we can get through anything. And you're going to go up and up and up in your relationships, whether it's in your career, in your physicality. You go, of course I can get in shape or whatever, or I can go to the gym, or I can lift that. You've got to ultimately just believe in your potential to do it. And trust me, if there's another human being in this industry who looks a bit like you, sounds a bit like you, who's done what you want to do, it's not airy-fairy secret bullshit. This is like, you just can do it. You are absolutely capable if you put in the work. And the one thing in this industry that's like the leveler, that you can be born with you can be born with qualities, I guess, that make you more adept to success. But the one thing that it's a leveler for all of us is the amount of work that you put in. And if you're like, look, no one can outwork me, no one can outwant me, no one can ultimately kind of go for this more than me, you will win. I'm not saying you're going to get an Oscar, but you're going to have so much more success than you're having right now. So the success cycle, that is the thing that changed my life. That's the thing that I went, right, I'm stuck in the shop, doing nothing. I'm doing what everyone else is doing. I'm telling myself that, I'm only going to have this success that everyone else is having. I'm surrounding myself by stupid people. I'm taking bad advice from people. I'm looking at social media and I'm feeling like shit, and I'm walking around so disempowered. So really looking at my life, just in a sober light and going, I'm not taking any action on the things that I'm talking about that I want to do. And the minute that I did start taking the action because I believed that it was possible, I started getting the results. So is that kind of clear? That thing at the bottom there is the most important thing I kind of want to talk about today. We'll do a tiny little bit of Q&A. But if you can put this, if you just take one thing away from this entire day and just go home tonight and all the theory that you've been told today about agents, headshots, casting directors, all this kind of stuff, just start taking action on it as opposed to just knowing the theory and doing nothing about it. You will start seeing results like literally as early as next week. You've just got to start showing up in the world and give yourself permission. You know, believe that you actually come to terms with the fact that you can have the success that you want. So many actors don't. They're like, that wouldn't work for me, or oh yeah, but I'm only such and such a thing. Just remember that thing I said about your DNA. When you're dead, it's gone. You ain't coming back. So use it wisely. I want to, we'll do some Q&A. I just want to read something out to you though. Ask you a question that I always ask at the end here. So I get it right, I'm going to read it. This was said by somebody unknown, but I think it's a very interesting question. It's one of those kind of quote things you hear that says unknown, so I can't tell you who said it, but it said, listen, if all the boundaries were removed, what society dictates, what your partner thinks, because so many people are crippled by that, what your parents think, if you weren't afraid of painting outside the lines, what changes would you make to your life and career today? Just want you to think about that like on the way home. Go, you know what, if I wasn't crippled by these limiting beliefs my mum's put in my head that this isn't the right career for me, or my boyfriend says, nah, you know what, you're not going to do that, or you shouldn't be doing this, or whatever it is, or even the stuff you're telling yourself that a teacher said to you 15, 20 years ago and you're still, you know, telling yourself that thing today. Just have a think, what would you change if all of these bullshit limitations were taken away from you? And just next week, just start implementing that success cycle. And let me know, please, how you get on. You can always get in touch with me on social media, at Ross A. Grant, at Act On This TV as well, is the main website, Twitter and Instagram that I run. You can email me, ross@actonthis.tv anytime. And that's seriously legit. You get a lot of people here today who'll be like, oh, I've set this company up, I just want to help people, man. You go, you don't, do you? Because you're just charging them a shitload of money. If you want to help them, give me your email address. Give me your phone number or whatever. You can seriously reach out to me anytime you want, and anything I can do for you. Sometimes it takes me a little bit to get back to people. I will do. But this, for me, is completely life-changing, and I hope it is for you as well. I wanted to send you to somewhere as well to get some further free training on this. Once a year, that program I told you I created called Bulletproof Factor. If you go to bulletproofactor.com, you can actually, you just whack your first name and your email address in, and you'll get 2 videos so far that have been released this week. There's about 50 minutes of training already on this very subject, and video 3 comes out on Tuesday. If you go and it's completely free, it's like an hour and 20 minutes of training. The comments underneath that I've had on these videos, every time I release this, are just incredible. Please go and watch them. There's no agenda there, just go and watch them. I do open the full program for Bulletproof Factor, which is a huge course once a year. These guys on the front have done, Gary's done there. But it's legit, isn't it? I'm not, and I didn't know they were going to be. I'm not like planted them here to go, yeah, tell it is. It's something I just believe so passionately in because it has such an impact on my life. Anyone got any kind of questions about anything they're struggling with in their life or their mindset, or something limiting? We've got 7 minutes. Something that's limiting them right now. We'll try and just work through it with you now.
You said about the people you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
What if you have to go to work and you have to talk to family members? Like, you have to interact with them. Have you got any tips?
Absolutely. So let's understand. Tell me about like why you have to go to that job where you don't like anyone.
I've just taken on a permanent job that's flexible, but there's a lot of office politics, and I don't want to get involved because I just want to focus on acting.
Yep.
How can I just not let that drain me?
I'm ultimately right. Okay. This is something everyone needs to understand as well. Life will put you in situations that you can't control sometimes. Stuff will happen to you. You're like, God, this has like been thrust upon me and I don't quite know how to deal with it. You always have, and this is so powerful when you get your head around it, you always have the choice of how you respond to that situation. We all want to react, right? And that's a very different thing to responding to things. So if you're surrounded by some idiots at work and they're constantly, you know, negative or whatever, the quickest way to deal with that, one is choose how you respond. Okay, you've got to make a conscious effort to that. I'm not going to lash out and react like I want to react. It's a bit like driving. Someone cuts you up, you want to slam on the horn. I can't drive, never experienced that. I would love to. But yeah, you know, you can choose. Go, wait a minute. I'm going to respond better. I'm going to project positivity onto these people, and I'm going to deploy immense gratitude that I am not them. Gratitude is the antidote to all poison. I swear, guys, and I know again it sounds cliched as hell, but if you actively practice gratitude every day. And, you know, I write down, sounds mental, right? Every night I've got a little thing called Day One Journal on my phone. 11 o'clock it pings off and goes, Ross, it's time to write in your journal. I just write down 3 simple things I'm grateful for from the day. And it might be that, you know, I've walked, as flowery as this seems, I've walked to the gym in the morning and, you know, right now I can see the clouds and the sun in the sky, because at some point maybe I won't be able to do that. And I'm so grateful to be able to, you know, come in and literally look all you guys in the eyes and go, you know, at some point I might not be able to do that. Just instant little things of gratitude. They don't have to be the $1 million moments of like, you know, oh, I'm so grateful that I got a BAFTA today. You might be grateful for a phone call you had with an old friend you've not spoken to for ages, a meal you went to. But if you can deploy gratitude, I swear that you are not those people who are the bitter, twisted, negative people. You just win. Straight away you will win. You're just like, God, I'm so grateful, like I'm not in such pain. Because people don't react randomly as well, guys, right? I can't go into this in too much depth now, but there's a reason behind everything. We don't, you know, kind of behave randomly at all. We're trying to fulfill one of 4 human needs generally, and a massive one of those needs is significance. And one way you can fulfill significance in a really negative way, and it's to get violent and lash out. It makes you feel special, makes you feel like your voice should be heard, etc. A way better way to fulfill your significance is to go out and do good in the world and actually kind of, you know, put something out there that, you know, will leave a legacy for yourself. But it's hard, it's difficult. People don't want to do that. They go to the default place, which is banging on the horn as the road rage kind of driver, you know. And if you just just deploy that gratitude that you're not those people. They're in pain if they're behaving like that. They've got some pain inside their head that makes them behave like that, and you don't want to have that. So just be grateful that you don't live with that, and choose to respond. That's what I would say for that. Anyone else got anything they want to ask quick? And I've got no peripheral vision, so I can't see hands.
I'm like the queen of procrastinating.
Okay, what's the worst nation on earth? Procrastination.
So I just wondered if you have any like specific tips for just beating other than just doing it. But is there any?
Do you know what? Some of the most, so it sounds crazy, some of the most effective advice I can give you is the simplest, which literally is going like, you just need to do it. However, there's productivity things you can put into place that's going to make that easier for you. And one is, most people procrastinate because they can't see the entire staircase in terms of going, this is my goal and it's 25 steps up this staircase. I can't see all of these stairs, so actually I don't want to do anything because I don't know if this is going to work. And we have 3 or 4 types of fear. I've written I wrote an article that you'll see in the Surviving Access program today, and it's about crushing fear. We have fear on 3 levels very, very quickly. First of all, we fear change. We just do. As human beings, we don't like change. So what we do is we go, right, okay. For instance, people, you know, who are like procrastinating about their health and they want to give up smoking, they go, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to fear change. If I give up smoking, I'm gonna miss those 4 15-minute breaks I get at work a day. That's change. I don't like it, thus I don't want to do it. If they get past that, they face something called process change, where they're like, oh my God, giving up smoking is going to be so hard. I'm going to have these cravings, this, got to go cold turkey. All these bad things are going to happen. I might put on weight. I might eat more. Oh, the process is so hard. Don't want to do it. If they can get through that, they've still got a process. They've still got to get through outcome pain, fear of outcome, going, what if I go through all this? And in the end, I still can't give up smoking. Oh, it's just so much better for me to just not try. And you could do that in the acting industry. I really want to get this agent, fear of change, but I'm with this agent. They've got me 3 jobs in the last 10 years. You know, or something like, they could be doing terrible for you, but people will be like, I'm with this agent, I'm loyal. Oh God, I don't want change. Process fear. Oh, to get a new agent, I've got to write to all these agents. What if they reject me and I'll feel like shit, won't do it? What after all this, I still can't get representation from someone else? I'll feel worthless. I just won't do it. So if you're procrastinating, the biggest thing you can do there is make the excitement of the outcome that you want to happen louder than the fear of failure. And like, if you can just like, I'm kind of like in love with failure a little bit as well. Again, it sounds a bit mental, but if you can enjoy the process of anything in this industry, regardless of whether you get the outcome that you want, because regardless of the outcome you get, as long as you're learning, you're succeeding, right? Cheesy, I know, but it's genuinely true. And you will be able to then do better next time. If you go for, you know, a round of emails that you send out, you send your headshot out, your show reel out, and you don't get a response from any of these agents, or it's a no from 12, have a look at what you did and go, you know what, next time, what have I learned from this experience? What could I do better? Do I need to get a recommendation off an actor next time because I've approached all these people cold? You know, do I need to put my own show on and invite these agents next time because they're just getting an email from me out of the blue, etc., etc. If you can fall in love with the process and be happy with what you have now, I promise you, you will always wake up with enough energy to like go out there and try and get whatever you want out of the world, and you'll be happy with what you get. If you're not happy with what you've got now, regardless of whether you get a BAFTA or an Oscar or whatever for your work, I promise you those problems aren't going to go away. You're still going to be unhappy. I know people in this industry, I swear to God, that if they did win an Oscar and someone else on that night won too, they'd be so pissed off. But oh my God, mate, you just won an Oscar, but he won too. That's what it's like. So make that excitement of what you want louder than the fear of what you don't want, and focus more on what you do want, guys. Like, focus seriously. The reason The Secret works is quite scientific. It's not, I don't think, right, it's not the universal pixie dust or anything like that. We have a part of our brain called our reticular activating system. You can write this down and Google it, RAS, reticular activating system. Anyone here ever thought of buying a new car and you're like, right, I want to buy a BMW or a Mini or whatever it is for you, and you go out next day and you see BMWs everywhere, Minis everywhere. Or girls, if you're like, I'm thinking I'm getting a bit broody, I think I'm having a baby, and you go out and you see babies everywhere. I used to buy a new t-shirt every night I went out, like well back in my 20s. And I would see on like a Friday night, I'd buy this t-shirt, I'd be dead pumped up going out on the night out. I don't do that these days, way too old. I'd see the one guy in that club who had my t-shirt on, and it wasn't because I'd manifested him or I'd attracted him into my life, because my RAS, my reticular activating system, which is ultimately your sensor, it's kind of like, your filter for what you see in the world. That's why you noticed it. If you're thinking of, focusing on what you want in the world, you're going to see more opportunity to get it. If you're focusing on how bad this industry is, how hard it is, and how everybody's, so hard done by, you're going to see more of that as well. And that's why people think they manifest things and attract them into their life. It's because they're actually focused on what they want and they see the opportunities to get it. So when they, they pass them by, they don't miss them. The reason everyone in here is probably seeing 1111 all the time isn't because you're manifesting 1111. Is anyone noticing that? Yeah? It's because you've heard other people go, 1111, keep seeing it. And you'll just tune into it. And then when you notice, you go, oh my God, 1111. Like, it's magical. So 1111 is like where people see on their digital clocks, 11 minutes past 11. And everyone goes, when you see 11 minutes past 11, make a wish. It's magical. I see it all over social media at the moment. It's like become a bit of a phenomenon, 1111. To the point where I've even started noticing it. And I'm like, shit, 1111. But I'm like, I know why this is working, because my RAS is tuned into this notion. That's why I'm noticing it. So if you focus on what you want, I swear you're going to get more out of it. It's just going to help cultivate a belief system of yours that like actually serves you as opposed to disempowers you. And we want to get to a point where our emotions serve us, where we stop serving our emotions. And this industry is just so rife with that, where actors are walking around and their emotions are controlling them. They're not controlling their emotions. If you want to be a good actor, what do you need to be in control of? Your frickin' emotions. Thank you guys, like, so much. I appreciate you so much for like being here. Blows my mind that like you turn up for this. But yeah, please go and get those videos, bulletproofactor.com. Read the article on fear in the program. And if I can do anything for you, please just hit me up. Tweet me after this, let me know what you thought. And hopefully I'll see you all again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you for your seminar. Absolutely. I believe in all that.